This is Keziah Gibbons with a divine timing tarot reading for love for you. The divine timing element of the tarot reading simply means that I'm recording this with the intention that you receive it when you need it. And you can also hold that intention for yourself as you listen. I truly believe that all happens in its right time, and so I trust this reading to reach you when you need it. Before we go into the reading, there is one thing that we need to be in alignment on. Because a love tarot reading can sometimes involve other people, you need to be really clear in your intention when you're listening to this. The most important thing to remember is that other people are people, and we must respect their wants, needs, boundaries, and wishes. So if your person is saying no, then unfortunately, whatever the cards say, you do have to accept that no. If your person is communicating their needs or their boundaries, then whatever the cards say, it is that person that you should be listening to. Where the tarot reading can help you is to help you to know what approaches you can take within the relationship or towards the relationship, and of course within yourself, to improve your love life. This can be very powerful and even transformative. Our spread for today is a simple 3-card spread, and I will be using the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, a deck which I also use to teach. I'll talk you through the 3 positions of the spread, and then we'll go ahead and draw some cards. So the first position represents you. So the card that comes up in this position is likely to represent your attitude, approach, gifts, and expectations. It's what you bring to any relationship. The second position represents the one that you're in relationship with. This could be a lover, partner, or significant other. It could be a person that you wish to become your lover, partner, or significant other. It could be someone that you've not met yet. And most importantly, it could be a part of yourself that you're in relationship with. So this is a love reading, it is a love relationship reading. And if you're not clear on who or what you want that relationship to be with, now's a really good time to get clear on that. And the card that comes up in this position will represent what that person or other brings to the relationship. So again, this might be attitudes, gifts, expectations. And again, do be clear before we start on who or what that other part of the relationship is for you. Thirdly, and uniting the two, is a position of purpose. What is the purpose of this relationship? So this can be a higher purpose. This can be about meaning. This can be the why. What is the point of this relationship? Why is it important? And if you are in a relationship that needs some attention, as all relationships do sometimes, remembering this sense of purpose and tuning into this sense of purpose can be really powerful and can help you to work towards that purpose in the relationship. So those are our 3 positions. Let's go ahead and pull some cards. So I invite you to take a moment, take a deep breath, go inside and just ask to receive what you need. Our first position is you. What do you bring to the relationship? And the card that's come out for this is the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles is really a card of step by step showing up every day. So this indicates to me that whatever your love situation or relationship is, that you have been putting in the work, you're showing up every day, and that perhaps you might not appreciate quite how far you've come. It's a bit of a cliche, but it's a cliche because it's often a truth. We can show up day after day, put in the work, and sometimes because it's incremental, we don't necessarily notice how well we've done, how far we've come, what the result of all that work is. So you definitely are showing up for this love, for this relationship, and you've been putting the work in today and every day, and you are committed to that showing up. The Eight of Pentacles is also a card of apprenticeship, reminding us that we are always learning in love. And the Pentacles is a suit of the material, so health and wealth, particularly, as well as our relationship with the land, the earth, and place. Which indicates that this might be about showing up physically, perhaps in how you care for yourself, your body, how you communicate with your body, how you act with your body in this love, in this relationship, and how you create a space that is physically safe within the relationship. So that's what you bring to the relationship. The next position is what the other part of the relationship, so the other person or the other part of yourself, brings to the relationship. And what we've got here is the Knight of Pentacles. So firstly, because they're both Pentacles cards, what this tells me is that there is an alignment here. There's an alignment possibly in values, in what's important. And again, this can be about health and wealth. There's a physical alignment. And there is, with the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles is actually very similar to the Eight of Pentacles in that slow, consistent showing up. So the other person or the other part of yourself might have been also showing up, doing the work. With the Knight of Pentacles, this can also represent a person, being a court card sometimes, and because this is a position in the spread that can represent a person, then it may be that your person is someone like the Knight of Pentacles. So this might be someone who is steady, who's consistent, who's reliable, who is loyal. They may take a while to get to certain points, so they might not go into action straight away. They prefer to have a plan, and it can take them a little while to get that plan. And they can be slow to react or to act. So if you're a fast actor or a fast reactor, you might find that frustrating in your person sometimes. But their strengths are that they are very solid, very loyal, very dependable. And these are good strengths to have. What I do see in these two cards is that the Knight of Pentacles is actually turned away from the Eight of Pentacles. So there's a person in the Eight of Pentacles who is working on their pentacle, they've got their tools out and they're pointed towards the right. And then the second position, which has that card to the right, has the Knight of Pentacles also pointing towards the right. So there are a couple of ways we could read that. One is that of turning away. I don't think that's necessarily anything to seriously worry about, because you do have alignment between that suit of pentacles and even alignment in the way that the two figures in the cards are pointed. But it is something to be aware of, that perhaps your Knight of Pentacles might be looking off into the distance, and that doesn't necessarily mean at any other person or any other relationship, but that there might be something outside of the relationship which has their attention at the moment. And again, that can be very valid in a lot of relationships. We can't expect a relationship or another person to be our be-all and end-all, because it's too much. It's too much for one person to be, and we all have our own lives, and we have to respect that in our partners as well. Because the Pentacles is the suit of wealth, it's often also associated sometimes with career, and so that might mean that this Knight of Pentacles has their eyes fixed on a career goal at the moment, and so their attention is elsewhere at the moment. Again, not necessarily a bad thing, and if you are both showing up consistently, doing that work, and you value the relationship, then this can work very nicely, and it can be something where you support each other. We'll go ahead and draw the third card, which brings those two cards together, and this is the card of purpose for the relationship. So this is another Pentacles card. This is the Five of Pentacles. So all three cards in this reading are Pentacles, and that is significant. It tells me that at the moment, whatever's happening in your love life, it is really important to focus on those aspects of the Pentacles. So health, wealth, relationship with place, relationship with the earth, groundedness. And the Five of Pentacles is a card of insecurity. So in this card, you have two figures outside in the snow. They're a bit ragged. One of them is using crutches to walk. They have an injury or a disability. Neither of them are well dressed for the weather, and so they look a little bit impoverished. In the background is a stained glass window lit up from within, so there is warmth nearby, but for whatever reason those people have not come into the warmth. And this card, as I read it, is always about security and insecurity. The Five of Pentacles is actually a card of insecurity, and what it can tell us is that our insecurity is a mindset or something that we carry with us. And so one reading of it would be that, you know, if you just go inside that building with the window lit up, it would be warmer and drier and more comfortable. At the same time, and in the world that we live in, I would like to acknowledge that there are a lot of people who don't have complete security, whether that is about safety, whether that is about material security, which the Pentacles can often be about. So that might be your shelter, that might be your financial income, that might be your health. Real insecurities do exist, and they do have a bearing on every aspect of our lives, including our love lives. In this Five of Pentacles card, again, every figure is pointing to the right. So all of the figures in this reading, in these cards, are facing in the same direction. And with all those pentacles, there's real alignment here, which kind of goes against the sort of insecurity of the card of the Five of Pentacles. But how I would read this in the position of purpose, particularly for this reading, and for these two other cards, the Eight of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, is that perhaps there is an opportunity here for you each and both together to work on your security. So work out what insecurities are mindset, work out what insecurities are out there in the material world, and sometimes they can overlap. And work out how you want to approach that in your relationship. One thing that is perhaps not healthy is looking for the other person to provide security wholly. So, yes, it's valid and appropriate in some relationships to provide security for each other. And that can be a very solid, stable, very Pentacles way of being together. But if your only security is coming from being validated by that other person, or being dependent, and particularly emotionally or psychologically dependent on that other person, then that's not so stable, not so solid, and leaves you in a position of insecurity. So think about what you want to get out of your relationship. Can you provide security for your partner? Can they provide security for you? And just as importantly, can you provide security for yourself? So that the relationship doesn't just become about security, but so that you allow room for some of those other important things in a relationship as well. Love, pleasure, joy, laughter, all of the other sort of wonderful things that we can enjoy in relationships, connection to come in. So this third card really gives you a question about what you want out of the relationship, about what the other part of your relationship, whether that is a partner or another person, might want out of the relationship, and about how you can align that, how you can show up for that every day. I hope that reading was useful for you. I wish you all the very best in love,